All right, Shalom. Call all y'all about Yahweh. Shalom to the elect. Now, this video I'm going to call it Esau is never satisfied. They're not going to be satisfied. That's why you have videos like how the world will end. Because Esau ain't going to be satisfied to shit end and they got, they trying to go to another planet or something. But I'm going to play a few of these videos, get some precepts. I want to jump in the book of, I want to say it's Amos and Joel too, if I'm not mistaken. But you got all this stuff going on. Esau's still trying to infiltrate everybody else's society. Meanwhile, this society fucked up. And see, Esau coming that whitewashing shit. That's how you know who Esau is. People be like, oh, Edomites don't exist no more. Yes, they do. They're still here. They just changed their names. They got slick. Let me go to this real quick. The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is it? Who else do that? Don't nobody else do that but Esau. They go dig up artifacts, go to different countries, tear down statues or break noses off statues and do all this other shit. They try to hide who the true rulers are, who the true kings, who the true priests, who the true prophets are. And then they put up images that look like them. See, that's what Esau want, man. Esau want this money. And see, a person like me, other Akim, they'll see us and be like, who are you? How you learn all this stuff? Who taught you? What make you so sure? But they see one of these damn devils and they be ready to give all into it. Let me see. Look at this precept. It's the book of James, chapter 2, verse 3, which I'm going to get back into Amos and I want to say what it was. Joel, the book of Joel in a minute too, but I just want to pull these precepts while I go through that video. But it's the book of James, chapter 2, verse 3. It says, and ye have respect for him that weareth the gay clothing, and saying to him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there or sit under my footstool. And that's how a lot of our people look at us, man. They'll, look at you in a certain light just because you might not have a big mega church, or you ain't riding around no limo, or you don't have no tuxedo on, or no two-piece suit, three-piece suit, one-piece suit and shit, little inside joke. But Esau got people fooled, man. And a lot of people gonna get jacked up just because they, they following the motherfucking wolf in sheep's clothing. They ain't following the lamb. They ain't following Yahweh Shah. They following sweet Jesus. That's what they following. And when they think of Jesus, let me see if they go play it on this video, because I ain't go all the way through it. I just had queued it up for later. See, they think of sweet Jesus. Jesus Christo. They think of them white images. I'm gonna have to go back. See, they want to try to convert the tribes into this shit. Look at the images. Why? In the scriptures, they talk about, better yet, let me get that. Let me get that. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Because our people still crying to this day about the conditions we be in, man. They black into the ground. You look at the gravel, you look at the dirt, you look at the sand. It's brown, darkish color, or dark brown, I should say. But hold on, there's more. It's in the book of Daniel. Let me see if this is the right one. Chapter 7, verse 9, it says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, talking about Yahweh, whose garment was white as snow, and his hair of his head like the pure wool. Who else on this earth got hair like wool? Esau not running around with that shit. If they do got some woolly hair, more than likely they've been mixed. And that's where you get the parable about the wheats and the tares, which that's another topic. I ain't gonna get into that right now. It says his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Talking about them chariots. Oh, it just so happened. Let me see. See if I can find that photo. You know what I may do? I may just, because I don't want to scroll through, people be stalking numbers and doing little weird shit. I don't want to pull nobody's number up that may have sent me something sensitive. And the person be trying to call or do all the other weird shit. So, I ain't going to do that. But it's a picture that I want to post. The chariots, how the chariots look. And it just so happened today when the person sent me, and I know it's a little off topic, but, spirit move, how the spirit move. Somebody sent me a photo of two chariots sitting over downtown. And I was just saying that. I was like, one day, people going to look up and you're going to see chariots just sitting over downtown areas and wherever other big populated areas at. So it ain't going to be no denying. And just so happened, right after that, you see 3 Black Hawks flying after that. And what I may do, I may not just post the actual photo, I may make a video on that so people can see, because it's another video I got queued up. So I don't want to write this out. I'll get to that as well. But anyway, let's continue on with the color, the skin tone. I want to say this in the book of. Let me go back a little bit. So, give me a minute. I want to say this is in the book of Daniel. Let me see. Give me 1 minute, Aqua. This one the one I was looking for exactly, but I'm gonna try to find that still as well. Now it says, and his feet like unto fine brass. It's in the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 15. His feet like unto fine brass. You see brass. that's burned is dark brown. So them images they try to push out, Esau on that bullshit, man, and now it's coming to light, and they can't get over on everybody like they want to. They still getting over on, people that's oblivious to what's going on. And it says, as if they burned in the furnace, and his voice has the sound of many waters. That's like a deep voice. That's not no weak, soft voice like they try to put in these movies and all that shit. Esau really got people fooled with that. I'm trying to find this one. There's one other precept that I'm gonna move on because I want to get it because it's on my mind. I'm trying to remember exactly which book it's in. I want to say it may be in Jeremiah. So like I know taking a little minute. All right, here you go. So like it's in the book of Daniel. Book of Daniel, chapter 10 and verse 5, it says, Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body was like the beryl, his face has the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire. And this the main part, and his arms and his feet like in the color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. And he's talking about Yahushua. That's what he's talking about. Got on a golden girdle, eyes and his face like the appearance of lightning, like the scriptures say. The Lord should cause, wisdom should make a man face to change, so to speak. So, matter of fact, let me get that. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 1, it says, Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, the boldness of his face shall be changed. So Yahushua look like a very bold man, not that image that they be putting up. But anyway, let me go back to this because I don't want to dwell on it too much longer. The main point I really want to get into is how Esau trying to push this false doctrine on the tribes, because those are people that's part of the tribes down there in Brazil. Now, you got this scenario right here. Let me see. Now, I ain't going to click on that video. I'm going to go to the next one. It says, North Korea fires ballistic missiles over Japan into the Pacific. And guess what Esau red ass do? Go over there. Meanwhile, you still got the Ukraine scenario going on. Stuff going on in Syria and these other regions of the earth. It says, U.S. South Korea fire weapons after North Korea missile launch. They worrying about this, but meanwhile, you got stuff going on over in this country that ain't even fixed. Then through the spirit, that little pipeline scenario that just happened, hey, Esau got his hands all over that shit. That's how they get down. And I'm going to pull a few more precepts and end this off after this play. And this goes into the prophecy of wars and rumors of wars. See, the Most High putting the spirit on these heathens to get stirred up right now. And the same instrument that Esau used to scare the world, the Most High allowed these heathens to get so they can use it against Esau, man. See how you know how people be like, won't he do it? Yeah. Won't the Lord do it? See, Esau ain't got no business over there. Now they'll say they have interest and all that different stuff or whatever. Okay. Let's see, let me go to this precept. Let me see here. Give me 1 minute. This book of Habakkuk, this I want to read right here. Book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. I'm sorry, verse 3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And it's speaking right now. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. But the just shall live by his faith. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Because as you see this going on, Esau way over there in Taiwan and Korea, Ukraine, all this shit. They got in Poland and these different areas around the earth. But what about over here in their region? And that's Esau for you. It says he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. That's why I'm going to title this video. Esau could not be satisfied. It says, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's why they got a base over in South Korea, up under North Korea. That's why they building bases near Iran, bases in Poland, bases in all these different regions around the world, in Japan, Hawaii, wherever. They got bases everywhere. Verse 6, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and atone a proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. And, you know, it's crazy. I seen this post. I don't want to say it was a senator or somebody. It was somebody, a Republican, a Democrat, whatever. He was saying, how can Russia go somewhere and take over something that's not theirs? Well, wait a minute. Esau been over here in the West been doing that shit for the longest. This whole land wasn't theirs, and how they ended up establishing it. It says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, in a weight that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. And Esau got to pay for all this shit they doing, man. They're not getting away scot-free. Let me get this real quick. I'm in this off. I'm not going to play the rest of that video, because I don't want to prolong it too much longer. Let me see where I'm at. It's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. Now, most people, they hear these stories about the nukes and this prophecy coming to pass, they get shook up, which you should be, because you should fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and what's going to happen when these events pop up. But simultaneously, in the book of Amos, verse 9, chapter 9, verse 9, it says, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations like as corn is sifted in the sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. And that grain is talking about is the elect. In verse 10 it says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, because Edom's still going to be left. They ain't going to wipe each other out completely. It says, and all the heathen which are called by my name, said the Lord her out of one that doeth this. And that's what's going to happen, man. That's the prophecy that's coming to fruition. Esau going to get into this third woe. First, Jacob's trouble going to happen. It's damn near breaking out now. So much shit going on, it's hard to keep up with the news. That third woe going to take place. That charagma going to get mandated. The next thing you know, hey, man, we get ready to get up out of here, man. This is the times we living in this lifetime. Not no 100 years from now, none of that shit. We living in this lifetime now, so I just want to bring this out. Adonai Razazah is edifying. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahushua and Shalom to the elect.